Good morning, girls. Today we will start a new chapter, chapter number 15, light. Light is a form of energy, we know it very well, and it is very useful for us in our day to day life. Without light, we cannot imagine our life. At every step, at every point, at every stage, we need light. Okay, now you know that light we can get from the natural resources as well as from the man made resources. What are the natural resources from where we get the light? The sun is the biggest natural resource from where we get the light, and the stars also, they emit the light. Okay, and what are the man made resources? The man made resources are the bulb is there, the torch is there, candle is there, TV, monitor of a laptop, mobile phones, all these, they are the man made resources from where we get light. Now, girls, we will study about a very important property of the light, that is the rectilinear propagation of light. What does this mean? This is a property of the light which means that the light always travels in a straight line. It cannot move in a curved manner. It cannot move in a bent manner. No, it always travels in a straight line. Right? So, we will study two experiments to show that the light travels in a straight line. So here aim is to demonstrate that light travels in a straight line. What are the material required? The small cardboard sheets, 3 stands, candle and a candle stand. This you can perform at your own house also. So procedure, make small holes in the center of the 3 cardboard sheets. So we will take 3 cardboard sheets and we will make a hole at the equal length, at the equal height from the bottom. Let's say we are making the hole at 5 centimeter here from the bottom. So in this cardboard also you will make it at the 5 centimeter. Here also you will make it at the 5 centimeter. We cannot change the height of the hole. It has to be at the same height. Okay, now fix the cardboard sheets on the 3 stands and arrange them in a straight line as shown in the figure. So what we will do, we will fix them on a stand, or you can just fix them with the help of any support, and to ensure that the holes are coming in a straight line. Right? Now light the candle and place it in front of the hole made on the first cardboard. We can light a candle and we will place it on a stand so that it comes in the straight line with the first hole. Now see the flame through the hole of the third cardboard sheet. Now what you have to do, you have to keep the eye here, your eye, you have to see it from this hole only. You do not have to see, you have to close one eye and you have to see from the hole only. You will not see it from anywhere else. If you open your eyes, both eyes, you can see it from anywhere else also, but no, you will see it from the hole only. Okay. So observe the candle. Now move the third stand a little away from the line. What we will do is first you will observe and you will see that you can see the flame, the candle from this third hole also. Okay. Now what you will do? Now next time what you will do, you will shift this or this, any. You can shift any of the cardboard, not the first one. From the first one it is going through. So you can shift either the second cardboard or the third cardboard a little. You will change its position. Okay. And then what you do, then again see it from the hole of the third cardboard. What you will see, that the candle flame is visible when the holes of the cardboard sheet are in the straight line, but the flame is not visible when the second cardboard sheet is moved away. Why? Because see what was happening when the 3 cardboards, they were in a straight line like this. Okay, the holes were in the straight line. Then you could see the flame of the candle from here. From here. The moment you shifted any of the cardboard, either this or this, what happened? That light, you have to see from the hole only. The light cannot, suppose you have shifted it and now it has gone a little up. Like this it has come. The hole has come here. The light cannot go from here to here and then come from here to here. No. Light always travels in a straight line. Okay. So what will happen if you shift this? This path of the light has been obstructed by this cardboard now. Now there is no hole here in the straight line. So what will happen? This cardboard has come here. So cardboard has obstructed its path and hence you will not be able to see anything from this hole. This candle flame will not be visible. Why? Because this cardboard has come on its way. Hole has gone up and cardboard has come on its way. Got it? So now we'll do the next activity also. Next activity again to show that the light always travels in the straight line. This is another experiment. The material required are the straw, the candle and the candle stand. A straw, you can take any straw. So light the candle and fix on a candle stand. Keep the straw straight and observe the flame of the candle through the straw. Okay, so what you will do, suppose this is a straw, there is a candle burning, you will see it from the hole of the straw and you can see that the candle flame, you can see from the hole. Now what you will do, now bend the straw. Okay, you will bend it and see the flame again through the hole only. Do not see it from your open eyes, otherwise you will be able to see, but we are seeing only through the hole. But now you will not be able to see the flame of the candle. Why? Because this has got bent. Now this light it travels in a straight line only, but now it will not be able to come through that hole, right? So it means that the candle flame is visible when the straw is straight, but it is not visible when it is bent. This proves that light always travels in a straight line, right? And this property is known as rectilinear propagation of light. Now what do you mean by next property? We come on the reflection of light. See girls, whenever light falls on any surface, suppose this is a surface, okay, what happens? Some of the portion of the light, it bounces back. It goes back. It is sent back by that surface. And that light which goes back or which is sent back or which is bounced back is called reflection of light. This is the bouncing back of the light after hitting a surface. Okay. Now the reflection in the shiny and the polished surfaces. If the surface is very shiny, very polished, very smooth, then the reflection will be more. It will bounce more amount of the light back. But if the surface is very rough and unpolished, then what will happen? There will be less reflection. Less amount of light will be reflected back. Clear? Next we come to the image. Now what do you mean by image? Image is the optical representation of an object. That means there is an object and the same image we see it in the mirror, the image of this, that is an image which gives you each and every outline, each and every exact replica of the object. That is an image. Now image can be of two kinds. It can be real, it can be virtual. Now what do you mean by real image? Real image is that image that can be formed on a screen. What happens, girls, I'll tell you. Sometimes what happens, when the light comes, it hits the surface. This is a surface, right? And it is bounced back, right? What happens, sometimes this image, this light, it meets. These are called the converging rays. That means after hitting, some of the light gets reflected back, but some of the portion of the light, it converges. Converges means meeting at one point. Meeting at a point. Okay, that is called conversion, right? This means meeting at a point. So when the rays, they meet at a point, they form a real image. It is formed from the converging rays. Now what happens in the virtual image? Virtual image, first, it cannot be formed on a screen. Why? What happens in some of the cases, some of the surface are that the light comes and it gets diverged. This is the property of this surface only, that it gets diverged. Diverged means getting apart. Okay, but they appear to meet. They are not meeting actually. They are appearing to meet and the image is formed. Right? What happens? The light is coming from an object only. We all reflect the light. The light comes from the object and the this rays, they meet at a particular point and they form a real image. It can be formed on the screen. It will be formed on the screen only, and it is formed from the converging rays. Okay. What happens in the virtual image? Virtual image cannot be formed on the screen. Why? Because the rays, they get diverged. They get apart. But they appear to meet at a place. They appear only. They do not meet actually. Okay. Image is formed here also. But it is formed by the diverging rays, and from the diverging rays, and it cannot be formed on the screen. So one more property of the real image is that it is inverted. It will always form the converging rays. Converging means the meeting rays will always form an inverted image. Whereas the diverging rays, they will always form the erect image. Erect means in the same manner as the object is. Is that clear? The different kind of images, the real image and the virtual image. Now girls, after that we come to the image which is formed by the plane mirror. Plane mirror is a simple mirror that we see, that we have in our houses, from where we see our image. Okay. Now before studying the properties of the image which are formed by the plane mirror, let me tell you about the literal inversion. What do you mean by literal inversion? When we see ourselves in the mirror, we see our erect image. Isn't it? Our head is like that only. Our legs are like that only. So that means we are seeing our exact replica in the mirror. Okay. The image formed is erect. First property is that. Second property is that the size of the image is same as that of the object. Suppose I am looking at myself in the mirror. Will I be looking more longer in the mirror? Or will I be looking more shorter in the mirror? No, the size of the image is exactly equal to the size of the object which is standing in front of the mirror. Okay, but one thing is there. You try it you just see it in the mirror. What happens when you raise your left hand in front of the mirror? Okay, so what happens? You will see that in the mirror it appears that the image is raising her right hand. Your left hand becomes the image's right hand, and your right hand becomes the image's left hand. So that is called the literal inversion. Your head will not become your toe, and your toe will not become your head. The image is erect only. The image is of same size only. But the left side becomes the right side, and the right becomes the left. This is called the literal inversion. As you can see here, this property of reversal of the sides of an image formed by the plane mirror is called literal inversion. Right? So, what are the characteristics of the image formed by a plane mirror? First, the image formed by a plane mirror is always virtual and erect. It is not a real image. Girls, in the plane mirror, always the virtual image is formed. That's why it is erect. Because the virtual erect image is always erect. We get an erect image. Erect means our head is on the top only, our toes are at the bottom only. It doesn't get reversed, isn't it? The image undergoes literal inversion. But yes, literal inversion is there. That means the right side becomes the left side and the left side becomes the right side. The size of the image formed by the plane mirror is the same as that of the object. Fourth, the distance of the object from the mirror is equal to the distance of the image from the mirror. What happens when you are standing a little apart from the mirror? So you can see that the image is also that much apart. It appears. If you move more far away from the mirror, the image also moves far away. You can see that in the mirror. Right? So these are the properties, or these are the characteristics of the image which are formed by the plane mirror. Right? Now we come to the spherical mirrors. This we will do in the next session. I hope this is clear to you.